Hi, it's Mike DelSignore, Massachusetts OUI lawyer. In today's video, I want to talk about a case. I had an OUI case in Waltham District Court. I want to discuss the court process, what you should expect. Cases in Waltham are either arrest from Waltham Police Department or Watertown, or you can also have an arrest by the state police in that jurisdiction. So the cases start with an arraignment. The arraignment is not the trial. One of the more critical misunderstandings people have who've never been in the court system before is they think the first court date might be the trial. Witnesses will be there, the officer, they might have to say something. Keep in mind, the first date you're going to say very little or next to nothing. If you have an attorney, I'm going to do all the talking for you. We're going to enter a not guilty plea. We'll get a copy of the report, and we'll get a further date for pre-trial. In rare cases, maybe we've resolved the case, but usually we don't have all the information to do that right away. But that is an option. For the most part, we're going to get another date so we can evaluate the case, make the best decision for you, determine whether we should take this case to trial, look at the rest of the evidence, talk to any witnesses, and try to fight these cases. Because an OUI case is a winnable case. It's a case based on observations. If you didn't take a breath test, they're saying that the officer thought you were impaired based on his opinion. We all know opinions can be wrong. The opinion was based on field sobriety tests, and these tests are not accurate. It doesn't mean you're impaired because you can't balance on one leg. It could mean a lot of things. It could mean you don't have great balance, you were nervous. It means the instructions might not have been given so you could understand them. So the idea that someone who doesn't perform perfectly on some tests given quickly, about a 20 to 40 second instruction, you rush through it, means you're impaired is flawed from the start. The 9-step walk and turn, you're supposed to walk out 9, back 9, heel to toe. A lot of times when I look at the report, I can argue that the officer said you failed, but when you look at what he wrote down on the witness stand, I'll get him to say that he didn't see many of the clues and show that test doesn't indicate impairment. So keep in mind that these are winnable cases. We can minimize any claim of bad driving, attack the field sobriety test, point out all the things you did right to try to get a not guilty verdict. If you're in the military, you might have a separate path to getting the case dismissed through what's called the BRAVE Act. If you took a breathalyzer, don't think that you can't win the case even in that situation. Breath test evidence can be excluded. They have to follow proper procedures. So if you have an arrest out of Waltham District Court, keep these things in mind. The Waltham Court does jury trials in the upstairs session, downstairs session where you'll be initially. It's for arraignments and pre-trials, but when the case eventually goes to trial, they do those in the courtroom on the second floor. Waltham does have parking, so you don't have to worry about that. It's one of the few courts that has free public parking right across the street from the court. So when you hire me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the license consequences. If it's a first offense, you took a breathalyzer, it's a 30-day suspension. If you refused, it's a 6-month suspension. If it's a second or third offense, the refusal suspension is longer. So keep that in mind. If there's a refusal and a second offense, you're looking at a 3-year suspension. If you took a breath test, the suspension's always 30 days, regardless of how many offenses you have. It's 30 days if you took the breathalyzer. So with these things in mind, when you call me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the case, learn about your background, learn about if you have any medical conditions that might have affected the field sobriety test, discuss the different options, and then after the arraignment, we'll get a copy of the report. We'll be able to review it, and then down the road, we'll eventually get any video evidence they have. It usually takes 4 to 6 weeks to get any body camera or booking video, so we don't have the full picture right away, and often we need that evidence to fully assess the strength of the government's case, because obviously whatever's on the video could potentially have a big impact on how a judge or jury views the case. So if you have an OUI in Waltham, you're charged by Waltham Police, Watertown Police, feel free to call me. I help people all the time with these charges. If you're not a citizen, keep in mind there's other implications, and I can go over those with you as well. But this is my passion. I help people defend OUI cases, get their life back together, make the best decision for them for their case. So call, text anytime, 781-686-5924. My name's Mike DelSignore. I'm here to help you, and my passion is representing people charged with OUI cases, and our goal is to help you make the best decision for you on your case.